Put back the plug. Make sure it's in neutral. Switch on. Too much gas or too little. Let's put this thing on it. Try again. Across the road to the, I think I got 10 buckets over there, and then some along the hillside here by the sap pit. So we're going to try those, see if we can get enough to get 50 gallons and fill the sap tank. The old bulk tanks that I used to use when they capped a little more. The lid blew off in the storm, but it just snowed since they all dumped those. These hadn't really started running yet. Can't tell from here. That's the lake down over the hill. There's some nice maples on that hillside too. I don't tap those too hard to get down unless I put in the pipeline. Looks to me like way at the bottom of the hill, a brush pile in the lake is probably a beaver house. Nothing in those. Yeah, right down there. Now we'll go across the road here. The town crew came by with the brush mower and mowed along the ditches here. That goes down, our property goes down the bottom of the hill where the lake has a stream come out, and the stream is actually the boundary. Now a little melting down through here. Some years this is really wet down through here. It melts out once, but the last snow of maybe 8-10 inches at the most, maybe less. It's kind of light, so there isn't a lot of water. Maybe an inch of rain. I have just like 4 or 5 trees right out along the edge that we capped in here. There's a lot more back in. These are almost all ash trees, these big trees. And just over the hill, they're starting to die from the ash borer infestation. There's a couple up there. So I expect these will all die within a year or two. I think I'll saw some of them into lumber with my Harbor Freight bandsaw someday. See what it turns out like. There's a really nice straight, another one. That tree there that we're coming right up to, you see the white spots on the bark, that's the ash borer. So it is actually over here already. Well, looks like there's some in these buckets. All right, let's collect some sap. Well, it's pretty windy, so I thought these lids are just laying on top. It's starting to drip. See the ice down in there? Ice is mostly just pure water, like an iceberg in the ocean isn't salty. So I just toss them. And then I don't, I figure that that's what the Indians used to do too. They'd toss the ice out and then they didn't have to cook as much. So there's two way up there, two there, two over there, two behind me, and then two out by the road. Big chunk of ice in here. I'm sure I'm wasting. Quite sweet though, the leftovers. The concentrated did a lot. Gotta go up and get the one up on the hill there, but I'll do that with an empty bucket. 5-inch chunk of ice. Dripping about 1 per second. Whoop, I lost the ice. This one's dripping about 2 per second. Has a shape like a flying saucer. The top has a bump on it. Oh, that's cold on the hands. Well, I grabbed the little maple trees, ironwoods, as I slipped down. I'll go over to those over on the hillside up there. The water comes down a series of 3 of these gullies like the one up there. When it was cow pastured, the cows would have trails that walk up, and gradually over 100 and some years it washed out pretty bad. And so there's these notches that really run a lot of water some springs, but since we don't pasture it for the last 30 years, it sort of grows up and you don't see much dirt. And the fields up there where it comes off are all in CRP and monarchs and pollinator stuff, so that soaks in a lot of the water, so we're hopeful it won't keep washing out. We're going to go down to the tractor down there. The ruts that I drove in channeled the meltwater, so there's a little stream running down this rut here, goes on down through under the road in a culvert, and then into the lake and into the Ore Creek that goes through. You can see it's pretty slushy. I got on my rubbers here, but you can see the tracks are pretty wet. Should we see where this water coming down is running? Pretty sloppy. There wasn't anything in those buckets. You know what, that tree hasn't started yet, I guess, or else they got bad holes. Here's the road, 285th Avenue, and then it has a little washout here that keeps eating away, and you can hear it. Up there is bare dirt. Anyway, it runs through the culvert and over on the other side, and then on out onto the lake.